Hey, gaming compute, what is up? Man, oh man. It's New Year's Eve already. It looks like I have a pre-scheduled post for the first of the year, which I don't really know. I don't remember recording that, but I just looked and it's scheduled, so I guess I put it for January 1. But yeah, it's been a bit. Full transparency, it is going slow. December is slow for me. I had really intended this month to be super productive, on a financial end, very productive. It is probably my least financially productive month, just mostly because of having COVID and now this back injury. So it's a lot of the stuff I get into, I have to kind of be able to do it, and I no longer get the benefits of PTO and being paid when I'm sick or not able to do anything. So since I've been sick and not really able to do too much, I'm getting paid when I'm getting paid. But yeah, the next phases of all these areas, I'm not quite, I'm not speeding through them quite yet. Actually, I hit record way too early. I am tired, but I kind of don't care. I'm up. I'd rather just record. It's the early morning of New Year's Eve, 6:47 a.m. I woke up earlier. I think I got up just before 6. I just wanted to put in a recording because it's been a bit, and because, it's my podcast. I can do what I want, right? So this is when I'm posting. No caffeine. I'm not caffeinated, so that's the brain you guys will be dealing with if you're listening to this episode. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have been dealing with Amazon Prime deliveries being slow. It's just I did what I could as far as ordering parts for different things that I'm working on. They barely got here last night. So I guess it's probably this post-holiday stuff. I don't know what it is. There might be something bigger going on, because lately it seems like there's always something going on with the boats docking and all this other stuff. I don't know. But I'm gonna see what I can get into as far as repairing certain products. I wasn't even able to finish up with cleaning and preparing some of the stuff in the garage because my back is all weird. So it's been about a week and I still haven't finished it, unfortunately. I did not think it was going to take this long to get back to that. But I haven't forgotten. I don't want to use my back to actually do it. So it's just going to take longer. I might figure out a solution. But that's mostly what I'm trying to figure out. I don't really want to just leave everything. The garage is kind of messed up. I cleaned up some stuff partially and left it out to dry. I'm pretty sure it's dry by now. It's been laying out for a week. So, I need to put it away at least. But yeah, I never got to the heavier items. I can't lift them right now. And the stuff that was drying on the cardboard on the floor, I can't really pick it up. So it's kind of just there. And I'm kind of just leaving it there until I can kind of pick it up and at least put it somewhere to store it. I really just don't know how long it's going to take for me to be ready to kind of finish these tasks. It's not really a lot of work. It's just I don't want to like mess things up more for my back situation. So I mean, I'm going to get it looked at. I just have some other stuff I need to do first. And then I'll see if it's something that's supposed to heal faster. I'm not used to having like, if it's not like snowboarding related or something, I'm not used to having like back pain issues and stuff. Like, it's just kind of funny that it's coming this time of year when I'm usually snowboarding anyways. So, and I'm not right now, but I still have a similar type of injury. It's gonna take me out for a while, but I'll see what I can do as far as some of the other stuff I have that I'm working on. It's just going so slow. I can't post about it because I've made like very little progress. All I was able to do really was order parts, order what I need to make repairs. I just need to see if I can do that. And I mean, I can post some stuff online, but it's just gonna take me a bit. Yeah, it's gonna take me a while. But yeah, like it's and I guess I've got a little bit of an upcoming setback too, because we've got another family member coming through, so which I was not aware of. So it's somebody who likes to use the garage, so I might have to put some of this stuff on hold because I don't really want people tampering with my stuff that I'm doing. So I don't know. We'll see. I might just use another room. I might use one of my siblings' rooms because they're not in them, so I might be able to set things up in another room. But I don't know, guys. Like, what are you up to? How's it going? It looks like you guys were enjoying some of this digital marketing project topic about experiences with Acadium, some of the e-commerce topics, definitely all of the kind of these reselling ideas. You know, I've kind of moved away from the whole drop shipping model. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I really do have faith in TikTok shops. It was probably the most promising thing I saw in 2023. The ads were doing really well. TikTok is really good for posting ads. It's just, you know, I wasn't interested in the stuff I was posting about, so I just wasn't following up with it or like promoting it too much or creating content around it. I was like, I really don't care about this stuff. I'm not into beauty products. I'm not into bead work and stuff like that. Like, it's cool, but it's not my thing. And there's a bit of a weird learning curve with it because I don't know anything about it. I couldn't tell you the first thing about, I don't even think I know the names of types of makeup and stuff. Like, if I was at a store, it's just like a foreign section. I'm just like, what is this? So I just leave it there. Like, so trying to sell it is kind of weird, but it's definitely like, you know, for people who are into crafts, I'd say crafts, gardening and like um like beauty supplies or whatever you want to call them. People are really into those topics. So if you're actually into that kind of stuff, you could probably create a whole bunch of content around it. I mean, I'm not going to be wearing makeup or buying it or using it or anything. So there's not really a lot of ways that I could create content by myself. It's basically I'd have to be clipping stuff off the internet, and that's just tedious, all the video editing and stuff, and I'm just not into it. But as far as testing it, it's definitely, it definitely gets a lot of organic traffic. People definitely look at the pages. Even if I wasn't doing anything, I was happy with the amount of traffic. But I really had nothing to post, so I was like, and I don't really like, I don't know. I don't want to be a downer about drop shipping, because I know it's such a popular model, but I just don't like it. It's not creative enough. Like, I like the web design part. I like the research, the product research. I like building the sites. I like the SEO around it. I kind of like making ads. I mean, I guess I'd say I like tracking the progress of ads, tracking traffic. After I've made ads, I really don't like video editing. As you guys know, I don't even edit on the pods, so I don't like editing that much. I edit when I write, kind of. I hardly ever post what I write. A lot of the stuff I write is I'm probably not gonna post it, in all honesty, but not on Gaming Compute. I won't post it here, but yeah, I've been waiting to see when Biaheza is gonna come back through. I haven't seen any updated content from him in a while. I remember he was saying he was done with YouTube, and it seems like his Instagram is also kind of like, he hasn't really been posting, but I'm wondering if he's gonna just like come up with some content somewhere. His content, honestly, the reason why I talk about him so much is because his content, of all the free content I've seen, well, there's more free content that you can follow, but of all the free content I've seen, his is some of the least clickbaity and the least just fake guru stuff. He has some really good ideas, and if you do follow through with it and keep going, you can be successful. I mean, one thing I've learned, I guess, this year is a lot of times if you don't have a lot of content around what you're trying to sell, or if there's not like an audience for it already, you're going to be paying a fortune for ads, and the cost of ads has gone up so much. It's like, it's a bit of a risk, and the cost of shipping is expensive too. So just all the combination of things right now is like, you've really got to be good at the math. And trying to even like ship things from China is kind of a useless model nowadays. I mean, if you're trying to compete with Amazon Prime, I mean, good luck. Like, most people are drop shipping off Amazon Prime. That's where it's mostly happening. It's hard to compete with that. The quality is there, the reviews are there, it's fast, it's efficient. People can compare prices. It's almost perfect. It would be closer to perfect if it didn't have like subscription fees and things. But it's almost the next best thing from like, ordering like Grubhub and Uber Eats and Instacart. It's like almost on that level. It's like, I want this now, it'll come here tomorrow. Like, most people who run their own personal sites can't really make it that fast unless you're doing overnight shipping, which costs a whole lot. So how it is that Amazon Prime made it so that they can do this, I don't really know. You know, I'm in LA, I'm in a city, I see these workers all the time driving all over the place, especially in the past few weeks. They've just been like, you know, one day I was driving against the Amazon vans traffic. There's like this Amazon center where I guess it was close to lunchtime, and they all come out like a little bit before 12. They all like leave the parking lot, and I saw just like a whole convoy of them just like leaving, and I was like, what the heck? Like, it was the funniest thing. I was just like, what is going on? It's like a whole army of like Amazon vans like leaving the parking lot to go deliver everything all over the city. It's like, man, it's I really like it. I mean, I don't really know too much about the whole thing. I don't know too much about what they do, like as far as like how they got to that model. I know where I started engaging with Amazon was when I was reselling my textbooks or buying textbooks earlier in college. And it was mostly books, and now look at them. They're competing with stores. It's like literally people can go on there and shop, compare prices, and decide, do I want to go to Target right now, or will I wait a day or two and order this and just not have to take that trip? You know, it's worth it. It saves you a lot of time. It doesn't necessarily save you a lot of money, but it doesn't cost you that much more. I mean, if you think about the gas you might use to go to a store and stuff, if you know you're ordering stuff on Amazon Prime and it can get there sometimes even the same day, it's like, why not pay the $2.99? Like, it's worth it for your peace of mind. It's just right now the shipping times are kind of weird. Or the delivery times are kind of weird. I don't know what end it's on, if it's the shipping or if it's the deliveries or the order processing or what it is. But like, I've had a lot, just like shifting to another platform. The guy from Craigslist Hunter, his online platform, I'm pretty interested in that because he has a store. He has a physical store, and he sells off eBay, and now he has his site launched. It's been launched for a while now. You can apply to sell your products on his store. He kind of looks at your sales and, you know, kind of sees kind of within what area, what niche you're interested, and he lets you post. If you get accepted, he lets you post your products to his audience on his site. And he had a really good episode, one of his recent episodes. He had it looked like a couple friends or people he knew, peers of some sort, who came into his shop physically, and he recorded on camera their whole conversation. I can't remember in detail, but I'll post the link. They were talking about that they have a warehouse and they would like to open up a physical shop similar to his, a shop where they resell a lot of the things that they're getting. So it sounds like they've been sourcing kind of for free. People are giving them some free stuff. I think the clothing they get is free, but it seems like it's for like older women. And, the Craigslist hunter guy, he was mentioning that for clothing sales, for like a physical space, a brick and mortar, you need a lot of space because of the racks. And he was talking about the square footage of this new building that they're trying to get for a store. And they're kind of going back and forth with ideas. It sounds like the model these guys are trying to run with, it sounds like there would be a lot of like a hard time kind of with the profit. And the Craigslist hunter, he mentioned, how long it took for him to start making money. I think like a year to start being profitable, because he talked about all the overhead, all the stuff you have to think about paying. And because he has a shop that's mostly, I don't think he has junk. I don't think it's junk. It's more like used stuff. But I don't think it's a junk store. These other guys seem like they wanted to make like a thrift store and a junk store. Like I think his is technically, the Craigslist hunter, his stuff is technically just a thrift store, I believe. He gets stuff from people though, but his model is he buys the products off of people for about half of what they seem to be selling on eBay, and then he resells them at a profit. So the customer wins by getting some cash for something that they don't really want or need anymore. He seems to rarely do consignment. He mentions it for some people, but it seems like he doesn't really do that much. He does some trades. I don't know how many, like what percentage, but I mean, he does have a cost involved. So, if you can source products, get something for free somehow, if it's something that people want to buy, you might kind of have some type of winning angle there. But he seems to, I don't know, he seems to have had a lot of good advice for these guys, talking about his experiences, talking about, just things like the expense of rent, electric, just breaking down how much money do you need to be making every day just to break even so you can pay the bills to keep the place open. If you have employees and you have to pay them and all that kind of stuff. So he was saying, like, let's say per day you have to make like $100-something. I think I don't know if he's based in Chicago. It's somewhere in Illinois. I can't remember the area. And so it sounds like the rent for the stores there is cheaper than it is out here in like LA, SoCal kind of area. Which, that's normal. There's a lot of stuff that's cheaper in the US than it is out here. I think New York, San Francisco, they're kind of the exception. I don't know, San Diego and LA and Orange County, it kind of depends where you're looking. They all kind of have their own range of differences. They seem pretty similar, it just depends where you're trying to live. But I mean, going from an online store to a physical store, it's like he was thinking about foot traffic. Are people is there like an island divider? Do people have to make a U-turn to come back around? Is there a turn where people can go when there's traffic? Do they have to drive like a mile down out of their way just to turn around and come back to you? Are you next to like some place with natural foot traffic, like a Walmart or a Target? He was mentioning like if they're next to like a nail salon and people aren't really, like they're there by appointment or something, or like a hair salon or something, that's going to be different than if you're next to like a Walmart or next to some place where people have to, I don't know, say like take their car or something and wait, and then they might come in, buy some stuff, It sounds like he relies more on the impulse buy. He's got kind of a man cave style of, stuff that people might want. Tools, knives, just different kind of decorative items. A lot of vinyl records, different kind of lamps and signs and things. Fishing gear, hunting gear, sporting gear, frisbees, video games, all the kind of gaming consoles and accessories. And, but it's kind of a thrift store, and it's like, he says he doesn't really deal with things too much like that much clothing unless it's like sports attire or like specific jerseys for their like local teams and stuff. Or popular, like really popular players like Jordan and stuff like that. And he was encouraging these guys, saying that, he doesn't really think that it's going to be very lucrative for them to open a thrift store with the idea that they're having, especially because the square footage was going to be pretty small. If they're going to add the clothing, they would need like multiple times the amount of space that they were going to be getting. And then on top of it, figuring in like the rent and all that. Like, he wasn't trying to like knock their ideas, but I think he had a lot of valid points. But I think lately I've just been consuming a lot of content because that's the most of what I can do. And he had a lot of interesting things to say for people who want to think about, a physical shop. The thing that he has going for him, the Craigslist hunter, is that he's online and has a popular community. He's popular to a community online, and so, there's some traffic just from that, because people might want to come by and be on camera, or they might watch a show or tell other people about it, and so he's able to kind of have that. But it's taken him years. I don't even know. I haven't been watching him from the beginning, so I don't really know why he's called the Craigslist hunter. He mentioned vaguely a few times from what I've watched that he was on Craigslist initially. I think a lot of us started on Craigslist, in all honesty. But Craigslist, eBay. But a lot of these platforms have changed so much. To the point where it's like, if you really don't have an idea of what you're doing, it's really going to be hard to get the ball rolling with a lot of this stuff. There's a lot of competition out there, and there's really I don't know if there's really an easy way. I think when you have a hobby and other people are into that hobby, that's the type of stuff you can kind of sell kind of the easiest, even if it is used and in good condition. Like I've talked about it before, I tend to keep my boxes for things. It's especially if it's like electronics, like Bluetooth speakers, whatever. I try to keep the original boxes for some of my stuff so that when I'm done with it, I know I'm going to sell it online. I already know that. I usually, unless it breaks, and I do have some broken stuff, but unless it breaks, I'm not. There's very few things that I'm gonna keep very long term. Like if I'm not using it, I'm getting rid of it. I've had a keyboard since like the 90s, like a Yamaha music keyboard. That's probably one, looking around, that's kind of one of the oldest things that I own. Other than like blankets and things like that, some books. But yeah, most of my electronics, I bought them, used them, got done with them, sold them. Sports equipment's the same way. When I'm done with it, I sell it. If I'm not using it, I sell it, or at least post it online. If it's like, okay, I upgraded, got some new snowboard boots, I'm going to sell the old ones. Like, I'm not going to keep stuff around. It's worth money to somebody most of the time. So that's kind of the angle that I take with things. And there are a lot of people that are into the same types of hobbies that I might be into. So once I realize that that I'm not going to be using something, I sell it. But I guess there's some stuff like home goods that I'm not too familiar with that I'm still kind of learning some stuff that I'm like, I don't really know. Like, we've got a lot of stuff in this house that I'm trying to get rid of for my folks because it's just been sitting in the garage, and I'm like, we don't need this stuff. Nobody needs this stuff. Well, somebody else might need it, but nobody in our house needs this stuff. So I'd rather just get rid of it. They don't even seem to know that it's there. They're not going to miss it. But yeah, I've cleared with them what it is that what they want to keep. I just still need to get back to the process of getting it out of the house, or at least post it online so it can potentially get out of the house. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm working with lately. I haven't really done too many next steps with these projects lately. Not even with the websites, not too much online either, because I haven't been able to really sit upright for too long. So I can't really just sit on my computer. I haven't been really on my computer way too much. So that's where this lull is coming from. It's not that I'm not posting, or I'm not posting, but it's because I'm not doing anything towards all the next steps of what I need to do. I've been needing to take it easy, which is not something, I am not used to this. This isn't like a normal month for me. So, I mean, it's fine. But yeah, it shows that there is some benefit to having, a 9 to 5 with benefits and paid time off and all that. Like, I do have a lot of friends that don't have paid days off, and to me, I just don't understand that. Like, I see that they're overworked and overwhelmed and working 2-3 jobs, some of them, and it's like, you really need a job that's just gonna do you a solid and let you have some days off and pay you while you take those days off. It's like you earned it. But yeah, it's kind of showing me what people have to deal with when they're injured and can't work. It's like, I've usually got quite a lot saved back because I really don't have a very expensive lifestyle at all, and I have to save my money because that's just how it goes for me. Like, it's not an option, it's a necessity. So it's like, because I dabble so much especially this year, in just this in 2023, it's been a year of dabbling. If I'm relying on gigs, I can't really not have money saved because it's not very predictable. I've been testing a lot of stuff this year, learning a lot of stuff this year. So I'm mostly trying to continue. I think I like this reselling direction though, or reselling direction. It's just much slower, to have to wait for things to arrive so you can fix them, and then have to, fix them and buy parts and stuff, and like, it's slow. It's really slow. But I love it way more than the drop shipping stuff. I wasn't so into the drop shipping because it's just so like hands off and like, I don't know. It's easier to kind of automate. It's easier to kind of create like this. In a way, it's an easier model, but I feel like it's so hands off that it's just too much digital for me. It's like I'm just online all day, just posting stuff online all day and like editing stuff online all day. And you know, I like to work with physical things. Like that's it's kind of, in a way, it's easier motivation wise, but I would just say the slowness is really something to have to take into account, because it slows down the money. The money slows down a lot when you have to rely on packages to get to you and things to get processed, and you know, you get them in the mail and then you're like, okay, I got part 1 of 3 of what I need to work on. You know, I still need all the other stuff to come in so I can finish working on it. You know, it's like, and then however long it takes to fix it, it's like sometimes you don't really know, because sometimes you're buying stuff and they don't give, like, I'm not saying that they're lying, but they don't give as detailed of descriptions as they could give on their end. I ran into somebody, I talked about it, I think. I ran into somebody on OfferUp who was selling some kind of violin or something. And I was just trying to point him in the right direction, because I wasn't interested in that violin, but I was like, how'd they take the price from $500 to $80? And then I saw there's only 2 pictures, and I'm like, this person clearly does not play, you know, these instruments, and like, maybe it's worth money, I don't really know, but just from how it looked, it was like, this person's very new to this field, you know. So I was just asking him about it, just in general, like, what's the brand of this, you know? And they didn't seem to know. And I'm kind of thinking like, well, how are you going to set a price on something that you don't know? Like, unless you made it yourself. But it was broken. It had all kinds of like missing pieces and stuff. And they were kind of asking me like, where do I go from here? Like, what do we do? And I was kind of explaining to them, it's like, okay, like you can consider, you know, someone who's buying this instrument, if they want to play it right away, they're going to need a bunch of stuff for it to be in working order, because just by the pictures, it didn't have, like, it had 2 strings, but they didn't seem like they were in good condition. It was going to need 4 strings. It was going to need a bridge. It was going to need a bow with hairs and rosin for the bow, and I don't really know, like, too much about, like, the fine-tuning of it. I forgot what the part's called. I guess the tailpiece. I don't know. I don't know if that was in perfectly good condition, because the photo didn't really show the full part of it, but I would just assume maybe it's not fully working. I couldn't tell if there were holes or not, but for it to be in working shape for someone to buy it, it's like it was gonna need a lot of pieces. So I was like, are you trying to sell it so someone can buy it and play, or are you trying to sell it for someone who is potentially gonna fix it? Because if someone's gonna fix it, I mean, they're gonna want to know like what brand it is that they're buying, unless somebody made it, it was homemade or something. But yeah, I was just looking at it and I was just kind of like, man, like this, it caught my attention just because of how it looked. Like, it actually looked like a really nice violin, but it was really, there were just too many questions. I was just like, this could be anything, you know, like it might not be worth anything. Like, somebody's neighbor might have made it, and then their kid threw it in the trash and scraped it all up, and then someone else dug it out of the trash, and like it might not really be worth really that much. I don't know the sound quality of it or anything, so I was basically just telling them you might want to get a professional to look at it to tell you how much it could potentially be worth if it's fixed or if it needs repairs, because they didn't post any information about that. And I was just like, I don't think anybody's gonna be interested in buying it just because there are too many questions. Like, if you want to buy a violin, there are plenty of other, good description, plenty of good pictures, and a lot of detailed information about violins. I used to dabble in violins more, and I really liked it. I really liked reselling violins. It was really fun. Like, I really like string instruments, and I just like that violins are so small compared to like guitars and stuff. So you can actually ship them versus guitars. You can ship it, but it's a nightmare to ship a guitar. But yeah, that was pretty much that's pretty much as far as I got this week. Is not far. I got not far this week. Probably the least far I've gotten of any week of this whole year. So it's been interesting, but I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get a lot done today and tomorrow. I have some stuff I need to get done by tomorrow, but I really don't know what I can... Not tomorrow, I guess tomorrow, because it's Sunday now, so I don't know. I'm just up rambling, just to catch you guys up to speed, but I don't really have that much going on. I'm probably just gonna get up and get breakfast, eat breakfast, make breakfast. I don't know what's going on the breakfast end of things right now. But yeah, I just don't know. I'm just gonna have to wait until I feel better so I can actually get done with this stuff. But I do have all the parts I need to at least fix some stuff. I just have to make sure I can test some things and make sure they actually work. If they don't work for me, there's no point in like trying to like fix it up more. It's like, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You don't have to make it look nice. It's like it already doesn't work. But I don't know. It's a process. It's a long process. And, it's taking energy to get all the stuff done. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. But I'll post that Craigslist Hunter link. I don't know what you guys think. Things are just changing so fast with these online platforms. So I'm glad to see some other people with the platforms, creating platforms. Some other people that have audiences creating their own platforms. I've seen a lot of people out there also creating their own software. Like, that's kind of like, it seems like the way to go, to either get involved with some of these people's software or some of their online ventures, because I think people are just getting sick of having to rely on all these other subscriptions and things. It's like, man, like, everything has a subscription. You're gonna end up paying hundreds of dollars a month in subscriptions just to be able to, run your stuff. Like, I'm debating on keeping my website up. I can still post on here. It doesn't make a difference, but, I'm debating on keeping my landing page up, because I'm like, man, that thing is costing me like about $17 a month just to have it running. And it's just one of many subscriptions that I have to keep open. Medium costs me money. YouTube costs me money. Spotify doesn't yet cost me money, but I mean, I was making more money on there, and that changed. We all know. I'm not even gonna go back into that. I posted about that. That was not a fun month. When all the monetization processes change and everything, it's just not fun. It's like, so 2023 has been just crazy, and I don't know, like I'm trying to think of some kind of more direct ideas. Like I feel like I know where I'm going with this stuff. It's just a lot of it's gonna have to be, repairing stuff, reselling stuff, not building from scratch. I would do something like that if it was like something I could do easily, like like an incense burner or something like that. Like something that's like a little bit of woodwork, but you don't really need like, massive amounts of power tools or anything like that. Like I like that kind of stuff, but yeah, it's a sleepy recording. I'm just posting something up because I'm up. Like if I'm up, I don't really like to be just like trying to lay back down. I'm not gonna go back to sleep anyways, so for me there's really no point to trying to sleep in. It's morning, the sun is out, I'm awake. If I need to go back to sleep, I'll go back to sleep. That's you guys know, that's kind of how I roll with things. But I guess the rest of my day, I'm probably going to spend it, at least the daytime portion. It's not going to be anything fancy, laundry. I don't know if I can get some stuff in the garage cleaned or at least posted online. I really don't know if I can do that today. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try and see what I can lift. I don't think it's a good idea because I already know, like it's hard for me to even put my socks on. So I don't really think I should be lifting anything. That's my opinion. Because I can barely, bend properly. But, I guess we'll see. I'm just trying to, see what I can do. Because it's not like I don't have energy. That's not the problem. I just, don't want to mess things up in my back more than whatever it is that's already messed up. So, I'll figure that out. But, yeah, it's going to be a little slow going. There's going to be an episode posting tomorrow. I don't know what time. I didn't look at the time. Usually I set them for midnight, so it'll be like a bright and early Happy New Year kind of posting. It's just a ramble, an uncaffeinated morning ramble. I don't really want to have caffeine when I can't really be moving around, so that, I don't like to have a lot of mental energy when I'm just sitting around. I'm not even going to be on my computer too much, so I'm kind of just stuck. But that's why things have been slow. I kind of hit the ground with a lot of ideas and then kind of just fell off from them because I just haven't been able to actively work on them. I've got the energy to work on them. I just, I don't think I can actually work on them until my body is in a place where I can actually do the physical stuff. I can't even really do the online stuff if I can't be on my computer. I can't do the whole sit on your elbows thing for hours and hours all day. And typing, doing that, that's not a that's not a good, that's, I don't know. That's weird. I can't really do that. So we'll see. I'm probably going to watch Barbie with my mom for New Year's Eve. Probably eat some stuff. I don't know what we're eating. And that's probably how we're celebrating. Otherwise, I'm going to be planning today for what it is, what I can do. I might just have to just sit still for a while and, sit back and not finish some of this stuff right away. Even though it's not that hard, it's really not that hard, which is kind of what's making it kind of a little more difficult, because I'm like, it's easy. It's not that hard. It's just like all the bending and picking stuff up and moving stuff. I really can't do that. And I'm going to have to do that to do any of this stuff, or sit in a certain chair or something, which I can't sit in. So we'll see. But yeah, it's a New Year's Eve ramble. Hopefully you guys have a good one. I hope you guys are doing well on your projects. I can't wait to be able to kind of finish what I need to be doing. Then I'll post a lot more about it. But I have pretty high hopes for these next phases. I think it's going to go well. I was looking into California's laws around, growing and selling produce. You can do that without like a license or anything, which is really cool. My parents grow so much stuff. I'm trying to convince them to like sell some of it, because I'm like, we have so many vegetables and fruits and things, and we're not cooking them like that. We are, but not that much. So I'm like, where is it all going? Like, we've got some kind of interesting like African vegetables and stuff. Like, even the corn we're growing isn't like typical corn. It's like a little harder of a corn. I don't know the name of it, but it's different. We've got some different types of melons and stuff that you just really can't find seeds for out here. My dad usually brings them back from overseas, and so we have a lot of access to like different types of seeds, and they dry them, and I know they've sent some plants and seeds to certain people. My mom's got this like online community of like old ladies that are like following her gardening and stuff, and I think she sends them stuff on occasion, and we'll see. But we grow a lot of stuff. I'm not too much of a part of what my parents grow, but I'm more of the one that goes around the house and I'm fixing everything that's like half broken, and like, let's screw this back on, like, let's get another wire for this thing, we need another doorknob, that's my job. Like, keep the house from falling apart. But otherwise, I've almost rambled for like an hour. I don't feel any more awake than I was when I got up, so I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be a slow day. That's fine. It's a holiday. Like, I don't really need to be doing that much, but I enjoy doing this kind of stuff, though. I would do it. It doesn't matter. If it's a holiday, if it's a weekend, I don't really care. I'm usually enjoying myself. So, I hope you guys are enjoying too. Sorry I don't have more to contribute today. I'm just kind of throw some ideas out there. But you guys kind of know the direction I'm going in right now. The sports equipment sold really well. And I'm going back into some of the other stuff. So, from before, I'm going back to my old school roots of some stuff. I'm not going to go back into like the computer, like the laptop rebuilding and that kind of stuff right now. That's a little much for me. Because these are like old laptops by now. The ones that I know are old. and I don't like looking for parts for them. I have a lot of parts that I could sell. I would rather sell the parts that I have. So that's another option, but I'd still have to post it. So we'll see. But I've got a lot of stuff kind of, pending. So, all right, guys, have a good New Year's Eve. Keep those goals rolling. Keep up with them. Even if you're in a situation where you're sick or something, you can still use the time to think. I've been having to just think. It's think and plan, but I can't really do much more right now. So just letting you guys know, and informing you about what I've come across. And I'm kind of limited right now, so I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to see when I'm available to finish what I'm doing. But for now, this is all I've got. And then you'll have another recording being posted tomorrow. I can't remember if that's one where I was driving. It might be. I don't know if I recorded it at the pier, if it was that day when I was going to the pier. I don't remember. I don't even remember. But it's coming out. So it's just a ramble with that. Thanks for listening.